Boom shakalaka, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy Chris Shul, aka the Esoteric Noetic, aka the Chocolate Nubian Soul Brother from Ghana, West Africa. Dropping the wisdomatic truth bombs here in Melbourne, Australia. You know I'm Tro Blue. You know I'm on team. You know I've got my first, second, third dose, and I thought I was fine. But according to Dan Andrews, now I've got to get my booster shot. Otherwise, I won't get special privileges. I won't be superior to all the purebloods out there. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, click on the bell, tell your friends, tell your mom, drop some comments, let us know what it is. Check out the latest podcast I did with King Peter the Virile, where we covered everything that is unfolding here in this crazy world. Can you see that dragonfly? I wonder if they need to get boom shakalaka. I wonder if we're gonna mandate that for all the animals, not just the plebs. All right, so check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Over the last 24 hours, I just found out that apparently the doctors are not giving out exemptions very easily. I found out there's a doctor that was fortunate enough to listen to the advice of their client, did actually have a conscience, and decided to give that person an exemption, but then that doctor was fired. In case you're not aware, there is a gag order by APRA, it's like the medical association here, to not allow any of the doctors to speak anything that contradicts the narrative in regards to the short, long-term, or medium consequences of the boom shakalaka. So I guess that means you have to say that they're safe, because they are. Everything is safe. It's safe for me to ride a motorbike at 100 miles an hour, and it's safe because the man on TV says it's safe. Safety is a relative word, isn't it? I mean, that's the funny thing about this whole thing. You can say something is safe, but it really doesn't mean anything. Unless people read in between the lines, they do their own research, they try to figure out facts pertaining to what is going on, well, they won't see the deeper meaning. But anyway, so this doctor lost his job, was fired. And it's interesting because that seems to be the theme here. The doctors are very apprehensive about giving out exemptions because if they give out an exemption and it's not justified, they can receive a $20,000 fine or they could lose their job. So understandably, when I say understandably, I mean in the realms of, oh, I'm a and I must do as I'm told, and oh, woe is me, it's understandable that people would do that. Obviously, people that actually have a bit more integrity would not go along with that. If they felt as if they could not give adequate, appropriate advice because of some gag order, they would leave their job. But it seems most people in the medical establishment in this day and age don't have the same kind of integrity that Hippocrates, the founder of modern medicine, had. You know, I mean, he was someone that advised people, one, to be your own doctor. Any person that relies on others for their own health, their own safety, is a fool. I paraphrase, but essentially Hippocrates is known to have said that. And he's also known to have said some other great things, like, don't trust the fucking government. Well, I don't think he said that, but he probably would have if he was around in the crazy times we're in right now. But what's even crazier, ladies and gentlemen, is that, so from what I understand, if you have an adverse reaction to the boom shakalaka, I have been told on good authority that a common recommendation is by, you know, the people in the white coats, because they know everything, is for you to try another boom shakalaka, because there are many different boom shakalakas. We shouldn't all paint with one broad stroke, right? One broad stroke. Freudian slip, I guess. Seems some people have been having strokes after having taken this thing, but it has nothing to do with the boom shakalaka. It has absolutely everything to do with the fact that, look, people just probably aren't taking good care of their health, you know? It has nothing to do with the fact that taking an experimental thing. But anyway, people have been advised, if they've had an allergic reaction, to try all the other boom shakalakas, and if and only when they've had adverse reactions to all of them, will they be granted an exemption. Doesn't that sound like a very just and appropriate measure by a doctor? Hey, look, mate, I'm gonna ensure that you just try everything because I'm under advisement by APRA to make sure you try everything because we need everyone to get jabbed. So much for whether or not it's in your best interest. So look, I've actually changed my attitude over the last 24 hours. Whereas I used to put the Popo as being the front line for the worst perpetrators of human rights violations since Nuremberg trials, and they very much still are, but I think equally so, it's the doctors that are going along with this shit. If any doctor, and I would imagine there are many of them, does not think that the advice that they are giving is good, relevant advice, and they are doing so, they are violating their own oath, their Hippocratic oath to one do no harm, and they're being fraudulent. And I think it's absolutely disgusting because they are in a position of authority. Now, personally, I don't believe in giving anyone authority over you. I trust, but I verify. And I guess it's really incumbent on people to confirm what doctors are telling them and to also ask the right questions. Most people don't even ask questions. There's certain questions you should be asking your doctor in regards to the boom shakalaka, but I'm sure many of you aren't because you're so trusting. But the very fact that these doctors are not advising you in accordance to their own integrity, I would imagine in most of these cases, they are hiding information, and they are even being compelled to not speak openly about their concerns. I mean, I don't subscribe to this idea that they're being told to by their superiors, therefore it's okay. The momos that subscribe to that really don't understand the psychology of all this kind of stuff, or the actual moral perspective in regards to what's going on. I mean, everyone wants to think that, oh, look, it's not my fault, I'm just following orders, right? This is the narrative that we've been told time and time again. I've even heard some of the leaders in this movement, this truth movement, advocating for that look, we really got to get to the heart of this. I mean, I don't have a problem with the police officers, the doctors, people that are just following their orders, but we really got to have a look at the people that are ordering people to do this. They're at the crux of the problem. I say, granted, they are, but it's the people that are actually doing this kind of stuff. If you can continually divert your responsibility, abdicate your responsibility to someone else because you were told to do something or you're influenced, coerced, none of us are accountable for anything. We can always say that, well, we were influenced by our environment, we felt pressure from so-and-so. Ultimately, we have to realize that this comes down to an individual problem. People are accountable for their own actions, and unless, of course, we hold individuals accountable, this thing is just going to go on. There are some police officers that have actually resigned. They've done the actual right thing. There are many police officers that have spoken out about what's going on, that joined the force on the pretense that they were actually going to serve and protect people. They weren't just going to go along with ridiculous laws. I have no idea why they thought that, if they had any understanding of the current political system and the laws that are being enforced even before 2020. But there are some people that actually entered the police force with good intentions. But the fact that we are seeing all of this insanity unfold and they are still continuing to wear their badge and follow these orders, in my books, makes them the worst kind of people. Because not only did they go ahead with this kind of stuff, but they know what they're doing is wrong. They can't plead ignorance. These people know exactly what they're doing, but they're somehow pretending that they're not responsible for it. They're cowards. And the same goes for the doctors that are fully aware. I have heard conversations of people dealing with their doctors that dealt with doctors saying on one hand that yes, look, they're absolutely right in regards to their concerns, but their hands are tied. But then I've also heard stories about doctors that have been really fighting for their patients. And one of my friends told me that she saw two doctors to try to get an exemption, a neurologist and then a GP, and the neurologist was fighting with the GP, trying to convince the GP that it's absolutely necessary for her to get an exemption, you know? But I think the idea of abdicating responsibility and saying, oh, look, I'm just a lowly person, I have no control, I don't have any autonomy, I'm a baby, I'm a sheep, I do as I'm told, and I succumb to the will of the state.
I will do what I want, and you will follow my orders.
I heard this voice that was telling me to do something, and I decided to listen to it, so I'm not responsible.
Yes, that's right. Do as I tell you to do. Everything will be fine. If you listen to me, you are not responsible.
Ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, brothers and sisters around the world, remember that we are all accountable for our actions, unless, of course, we plant ourselves like a tree beside the river of truth and say nay to the tyranny and stand against the evils that are being perpetrated on us, the violations of our sovereignty. This war is going to be over. The only change that takes place is the change in the individual. As you change yourself, so too does the world change around you. Peace out, keep it real, don't drive and text. Your chocolate Nubian soul brother signing out, Chris Yule. Ow!
What is liberty?
What the? Who says you can't build muscle on a vegan diet?
What's it like being a hottie in the vegan community?
There are no political solutions, only technological ones.
The economics of the system don't allow multiple competing systems to survive.
Engineering, technology, these arts of humanity, they are magic.